Hello, and welcome to a tier list video. Now, this is a bit different from what I usually do, but I just have a bunch of programming languages here, and I'm just gonna start ranking them. Okay. And most of these are things that I've tried, but some of these are things that I've just really heard of, and I just can't wait. Okay. So, let's start with SQL. Now, this is a really good language for I've had some experience with this a long time ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's been pretty cool to query and use stuff like that. But I would say the features that you can use in in SQL, you could also use those features in say C++ or something where you can just query through a list and give it a bunch of things. But I will give it this actually, I think I might have to think about this. I would give it like a B tier. Because the things that you can do in it, the majority can be done in these languages, but it's also really easy and specialized. And there's there's a whole job industry on it, so to learn it, might actually be 8. I'll keep it here just so we have enough space. And then we have Jai, so the one made by Jonathan Blow, which I've never coded in it, to be honest, but I've heard of it, and it has some really cool developmental features, and I think it's really cool to create your own programming language. And I like how it's specialized for a certain industry. It just does that, so I might want to put that in S tier. Anyways, so Python, I think it's cool, but it's also kind of way too many people use it. So I might also place it in B tier. It's a cool programming language, don't get me wrong, and I like its design constraints, but way too many people use it. I don't know. I don't really see the point. And Swift. This is basically Apple's programming language, which they try to enforce a lot, along with Objective-C. But we all know Objective-C is just not really it's it's just not that good. I've tried to use it to create a library, and it's just kind of weird overall. And if I were to choose something, I would rather choose Swift. But there's also the limitation that it's applicable to only a certain industry, I'd say. So I might put this in A tier, I guess. So Scala, I've certainly never used. Actually, I might even take that off the list. And then JavaScript. Okay, to some extent, it's pretty similar to Python. There's way too much Node.js, React.js. There's way too many subdirectories, and you can only focus on a certain thing. So I might put that with Python. I might put that a bit worse because I don't really like how bloated it is, but it's also kind of cool language, I guess. Okay. Assembly. I respect assembly because it was probably one of the earliest programming languages, and it still gets the job done for a good amount of things. And there's a bunch of varieties like x86 and ARM. But it's also kind of hard to mess up. It's also kind of easy to mess up in it. But I would say if you wanna make an operating system, you have to start with assembly. You have to, unless you're using UEFI. Okay. So Golang, which is Google's programming language, I've tried it and it's kind of cool, with all the unique features they have. But I don't know where to put it in this tier list. I would say maybe S tier, because I like the way it works. And then we have Fortran here. I think you know my opinion on Fortran. I like it a lot because it's pretty high level, but it's also at the point where it's fast. It's fast and rather high level. And okay, this might be a controversial opinion, but PHP isn't that bad. A lot of people hate on it, but it actually runs like the majority of the web. It's not perfect though, so I might give it 18. I know there's a lot of hate towards Java. But I'm sort of split on it because I appreciate the language. It seems pretty cool, and like I've used it for a long time. But I might just give it C tier because like the OOP things, and I would give it B tier because I like the virtual machine and everything, but just the language, I think that's where they did a little messing up. Anyways, this I believe is PowerShell, which is Windows terminal thing. And I haven't used it that much, but I've used Windows before. So I think I can wait on that, and then we can rank Bash. Now, to be honest, Bash is like Linux, so I think Bash is pretty cool. So it's not like perfect, obviously. I might just give it B tier. Oh, but we can think about that later. And then we have Odin, which is also like Jai, like some sort of a games dedicated language, but I'm pretty sure Jai costs money, and Odin is free. And I've used it, and it seems the runtime that you have to include when you're using Odin, that's kind of large, to be honest. Like they had to include then. I'm pretty sure it's that with every language, so I'm gonna put it with an A tier. And then we have Kotlin, which, if I'm being honest, I don't have that much experience with, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be something related to Java. So we can just put that right over here. And then this is Dart, which is kind of cool because it compiles to like web, it compiles to Apple, it compiles to a bunch of ends. So I might put that in A tier just because I don't want to actually overestimate Google here. So if Go is in S tier, we must put Dart in A tier. And then Hacks, which I've also coded in. I forgot what it was like. You can actually look at that. So I don't know if I have that. I think it's in one of my videos. So we can check it out over here. And look at the language. So it seems to be like Java, to be honest. If I'm being honest here. So we can look at that. It seems kind of cool, but it also seems like Java. So we're gonna put that in A tier. Anyways, TypeScript. This is where we might be going a bit strict here. I feel like if you want a typed language, why make that out of JavaScript? I feel like there are plenty of, like, to be honest, in other options you could go for other programming languages that you could implement that already have like type checking. I just like don't get the point, and it's also just like it's also another transpiling phrase, so you have to pay for it. And last, now I sort of agree with like the master on this one. It's kind of annoying, but it's also like memory safe. It's also better than say C in that matter because it's memory safe. So it's a pretty good language, I would say. But I'm honestly putting it in C tier because I think it's kind of hard to learn. But this is obviously I might put in. I don't want to put in B tier because there's already too many languages here. Anyways, I think we can rank. So I think I'll rank ZSH first because this is the one that I use day to day on MacBooks. And I haven't noticed like that many differences from Bash. Let's just open up Bash here. Let's just So they're mostly the same, to be honest. But it's like I might put it a bit below Bash because I feel like ZSH, since it's made by Apple, it's probably not open source or anything, and Bash is. So like I would respect that part. Then Ruby, it seems like it seems sort of like Python. I might put it in C tier because like it looks kind of like weird here. 5 dot times looks kind of weird on. Like I can't imagine myself coding in that. Anyways, we have C, which I like, and I've coded a bunch of my projects in because I like how it's simple, how it's optimized. But let's be honest here, it's hard to write a good program in C, and I've not really been. I know exactly how to be memory safe in C, but it's like twice the amount of code, and I'm not really gonna go into that much effort, like just to create a program that can run properly. I still like the language, but it's probably going in A tier. I know I created a video saying that it was my favorite programming language, but I've thought about like the design costs, and it's A tier. I respect it. It's solid, but not perfect. Okay. C++. Now I've usually been a hater on C++ because like I don't really appreciate how complicated the language is. I feel like you could just go with that. So this might be a first F tier. I might be kind of biased actually. I do some coding in C++. I just don't like it as much as C. But I need something to fill off here. C#. So the Unity language. Honestly, I might just put it here, to be honest. And C++ isn't that bad. I would put it in D tier. And Microsoft PowerShell. So I don't know if you're like noticing this as I speak right now, but you can see the hierarchy of companies. These are both Google, and they went straight to the top, and these two are Microsoft, and they went straight to the bottom. And so PowerShell, I feel, has to abide by that rule. And Apple for some reason is in the middle. In here, so I don't even think Kotlin is Apple actually. I know what I'm doing. So these two, So you can see the Google, Apple, Microsoft hierarchy. And that's sort of influenced by present opinions on Microsoft and what they're doing. But I'm not going to get into that. So, lastly, there's PowerShell. Okay, this might be like a hard one. But again, we can search that up. So I do sort of like some stuff about Windows, like the .exe. The executables, MS-DOS executable format is certainly better. I obviously don't like these, as you can see. But PowerShell isn't that bad. I might put it in B tier, which might be controversial. Actually, let's see what the world thinks about that. Yeah, PowerShell. Yeah, PowerShell isn't that bad. I would put in A tier. Now this is the time where you can compare this. So community rankings. Okay, let's look at public opinion here. Python and S tier. Yeah, it does not look like I agree with the majority of the population here. Somebody put Fortran in F tier. Okay, that might be a crime actually. In Swift in C tier. Okay, that is fair. I might move that down. Oh, Lua. Okay, so we're adding Lua. And I've created a language like Lua, which is like an embedded scripting language. And I both hate it and I like it. I like the way that it like lets you embed programs, and I use it. But it also isn't it. I'm pretty sure it starts strings that one. So that I think we can agree on where that goes. Okay, now popular opinion has it a bit. Okay, yeah, fine. I'll stop like hating on it too much. So I'll put it right over there. And assembly in B tier. Okay. I will still call it S tier. Okay. I know that it might sound kind of controversial that I'm putting C, which like I'm blaming for breaking a lot in A tier, in assembly in S tier. But assembly is like old and it's pretty simple. I mean, there's just registers. And I know there's seg faults. Yeah, I might have to like think my opinion on that because it might be kind of controversial. But I feel like assembly, like being hard, is sort of the pride of the language, and I might move C up. I might move C up. It's not that bad. And C sharp. So people are agreeing with C sharp, like being good. Okay, that might. Rust is best. C++ is worse. I agree with that. Now, okay. Okay, yeah, maybe I might put it. I'll put TypeScript in F tier. And that pretty much seems like it. That is my tier list for all programming languages. as of right now, honestly, I don't really care about programming languages that much. I'm really fine with like any of them. Yeah, I might put it in A tier. Honestly, I take that back. And I might assembly also. I think. Actually, no. Assembly is here. I'll take assembly into S tier. But anyways, this is my tier list on programming languages as of right now. If I'm being honest, I really don't care about it that much. I'm really fine with like any programming language in real life. But like if I were to rank them, if I had to rank them, this is what I would do as of right now. Let's see how my opinion changes over time. Bye and see you in the next one.